Hi, it's Monday, April 11th, and this is the Goat Rodeo Fiber Fiesta podcast. Welcome. I'm Nancy. I'm your host. I'm also N-L-I-E-D-E-L on Ravelry. I'm Lydell Fiber on Instagram. I changed my name, L-I-E-D-E-L-F-I-B-E-R. Show notes can be found linked below at radiofiber.com. And I do sell yarn, which we're not going to discuss much today, that I dye at Lydell Fiber Arts. That's updated on Friday. Obviously, I didn't get my second podcast out last week. I filmed it 3 times. Then I edited it, and all the kids were home, and editing out kid is not as easy as I thought. Not even close. So, hi and welcome. If this is your first time watching, thank you for giving me a giving me a chance. Yeah. And if you actually managed to get your way through the last one and came back, why? No, really, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That was a rough one. I knit, I sew, I crochet, I spindle really badly. Really, really bad. I'm such a bad spindler, I'm afraid to show you. Literally. And it's not that I don't have good spindles. I live in Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and it is a beautiful day where it is cloudy, supposed to get more sunny. As you can see, as the light's coming in from this side and not this side, because this is my other room. And I'm in the corner in my little studio where I do most of my design work and my work and what I'm gonna dye and things like that, and like everything I've dyed up and do your pictures on Instagram. Really don't do the Facebook thing. It's not personal. I just really don't know how to exit a discussion in a way that's comfortable, and I always end up sounding like an idiot. And I found out that even though I'd podcast before when I was doing my makeup stuff years ago, it's not like swimming or riding a bike, which actually aren't as easy doing up again as you might think. I don't know if the phone's gonna interrupt me. I do have it on. My kid's back in school for the first time. I have one with autism. They were all out last week. He was out an extra couple days because of some stuff with being almost 13. You're autistic, and all of a sudden, hey, people don't think like I do, and why are they interested in girls in the first place? That kind of a thing. Okay, so it's been really rough for him this year, and so I'm afraid the school's going to call. So if my phone goes off, I'll cut it out. Maybe not well. I'm trying to eliminate the edits because they are so crummy when I do them. And I can't make Premiere Pro work. I downloaded Windows Movie Maker. Yay for me. What's off my needles? Let's start with, actually before we start into what's off my needles, let's start out with ubiquity. Ubiquitous tea, podcaster tea. Oh. Today, and you're gonna hear this sucker a lot, Celestial Seasonings Tiger Tea. Bengal Spice. Tiger tea is what my kids call it. Even the 19-year-old. Next week, he'll be 19. So, I have a little sugar in it, and I make my tea in a hot shot. It's like the same one I had in my dorm room. Almost. But I love that thing. And I'm 52, so it's old. But it works. I'm good with that. I'm good with not getting rid of something. If it's doing the job, I'm a happy girl. Happy. Sure, I could sell it on Antiques Roadshow, but I'm happy. And I'm using one of my no longer made by Pfaltzgraff Perennials cups. This is slowly going the way of the dodo as the set gets chipped, and I'm saving whatever I can out of it, but then you have another set that's similar enough that I'm happy with it. I'm also drinking Diet Coke, and I know before all of you climb on me about aspartame, I'm down to 1 a day. In the morning, and I do make it last till lunchtime. So, I live in Michigan with my husband. Yes, you saw a picture of a rat. I have a rat. Squidgy. She's 1.5, which is pretty late middle age in ratty years. And cats, and no dog now, but this year I hope, and we have some things to do before we can do the dog thing, but dog is in my future. I used to have a Siberian Husky. We ran together. I loved her so much. She's gone. I'm dog. Freakish Lemon almost has me talked into a Corgi. Almost. Somebody yesterday warned me how smart they are, and I'm like, that's not a warning for me. For me, that's an enticement. Yeah. So let's talk about what's off my needles first. And I'm going to show you a couple blasts from the past. This is made with, yeah, it's going to have to go in the show notes. I made this hat last year, one little beret. I kind of designed it half myself, half from something else, but you know, it's a DK weight. I just said, how many stitches should I stick on? And it's got silk in it, and it's lovely. Yes, I know. This is my version 2.0, because 1.0 got faulted by my well-meaning and adorable husband, of my TGV shawl, which I made a little differently. The ruffle's a little different. I put some extra short rows in it because I like really big shawls. And when I say I like really big shawls, what I mean is this is one end. I haven't stretched it out, but I don't even bother block it because I don't have anything to block it that's big enough on it. I just wash it by hand and toss it over one of my drying lines in the bathroom that's made out of PVC pipe. Because it's a set the tub's in a separate room, and I can just close the door and run the dehumidifier in there, and I don't use the tub for anything but rinsing out my spin dryer to spin out yarn so I can dry it. And that just collects all the water. I'd like to say I take long, luxurious bubble baths, but I have 4 boys. I haven't, no. When I made this, I did some German short rows, and I did them not very well, but I did them. Up at the top, this is Madeline Tosh Pashmina in the rose colorway and the now discontinued Mansfield Garden Party. And I wanted it to have like a almost like a cap right here, so when I wore it I could kind of quietly pin it here underneath something around my bra strap usually, and then it wouldn't just fall off in a windy day. And in Michigan in the spring, wind is, well, we're under a wind warning today, and pretty much will be until it decides it doesn't want to, and then it'll be windy again. So I like it. I can tie it literally all the way around my waist in the back. So, I mean, it's almost my coat in the winter. I mean, I just don't like wearing a coat. I just don't. It tends to get in the way of whatever I've designed, which usually has redonkulous features under it, like giant kimono-esque sleeves. Yes. And so I can't wear a coat with it, so I will often just grab a shawl and toss it on. And if you think I'm like this fabulous fashion goddess, it's not the story. I just like my own weird style. That said, told you I was going to have those socks done. I didn't lie. I almost lied, okay? Technically, they were not sewn in until this weekend, which is after the podcast was due. But I can show you 2 more pairs of socks for my Yarngasm podcast, box of socks knit along, and I clearly need a bigger box. And the last time one point I think I'd say this came from Staples and it didn't. This is a French firmware box that I got at Michael's on sale for holding photographs, but it's obviously going to hold socks, so there you go. And I think I have all of my pairs in here. Both pairs of my Smooshy Dreaming Color Canary Cape. This one was badly felted, my husband again. No longer do I put things in a pile and say, I need to wash that. I just put in a pile that says don't touch on top of it, and he doesn't. And then little socks, and they're super luxurious and warm, and they're MCN, and I wouldn't trade them. And then I don't know if I showed you these or not. These are finished. These are my Fiber Nymph Dye Works, and I don't remember the colorway because I got a bunch of them at the Loopy U because she didn't have the ones I wanted in stock, and I could get them there. Lisa from Fiber Nymph Dye Works, Linda. And I did a Fish Lips Kiss Heel, which is my standard 2x2 rib. Fish Lips Kiss Heel is like my go-to bottom up, although these were top down. Socks, usually they're bottom up. I find that I get a better fit in the heel, and I go a little further when they're bottom up, and actually they fit me a little better. So I just kind of decided that for me personally, bottom up was my way to go. And I don't know if I showed you these. These weren't actually sewn. If I did show you these, I know I posted a picture and I took the ends of the yarn and stuck them in the sock blocker so nobody would see that I hadn't woven in my ends. But since then I have actually woven in my ends on this pair. And these do not have a super stretchy bind off or even a remotely stretchy bind off. They're wearable. They're not uncomfortable. But let's see. I don't block my socks. I wash them, I tack them to the blocking board, and if it's top's not as stretchy as I want, sometimes I'll pull that a little bit, but it's super wash, it's not going to stretch that much. And then I just sort of let it go, because I just, blocking socks. I mean, because I tend to wash my socks in a group, and then if I'm blocking them all, I don't have the blocking rest from everything, and it's just, no. And putting wet socks on my feet, which somebody suggested, is, ew, ugh, oof. Ugh. I don't like wet feet. I don't know why. It's either you go all the way in the water or you don't. Feet, no. You either dive in that lake or you don't. Dabbling a toe is just an invitation to something that you don't want. He's crawling up you like a shark, or in Lake Michigan, I don't know, something bad. I don't know. Like once I was swimming in Lake Michigan when I was growing up, I dove down and looking at a fish. No. I still swim in the water. I was a little fish myself. I probably thought it was just seeing another fish because I spent so much time in the lake with my friends. Then I sort of designed these, and I'm going to be working on them some more. I haven't even worn them yet. I haven't even washed the loam block, but I did weave in the ends. I did the surprisingly separate stretchy bind off at the top. Put a link to one of the, and these just lacy little things. They're, because of the way the lace is done, they're not perfectly matched side to side, which is what I'm going to fix before I put the pattern out. And then I'm also going to make them a little longer. And also, I have sort of have the problem that Mina from the Knitting Expat has, is since I'm in love with the fish lips kiss heel, never say never. I don't think I'm going to do flap and gusset, but again, never say never. I need to figure out, I have several tutorials for German short row heels, and I need to figure out my own version of the German short row heel so I can at least throw something in my patterns. But I really strongly, highly suggest the fish lips kiss heel, because after all, it's a buck. Socks Therapist could use the money, and it's a buck. Buy them for your friends if they don't have it. Make it available. And these colorways are they're both mine. This is a squee, and this is, I can't name the name of the jewelry company that uses a color similar to this, because literally they have copywritten the color, trademarked the color, I'm not sure, one of the two. And you get the blue box, you go squee. And then this is my blusher veil colorway. This is on a 2-ply stellina base, where the stellina, you can see it, but it's because of this, it used the gold and I shouldn't have. So, oh, I guess I have to knit with that. I don't make mistakes deliberately to knit with things, but sometimes it's a happy accident. And then my fine wine colorway, and again, 2x2 rib. When I'm using a 2-ply yarn, I tend to do 30 stitches aside. If I'm using 4-ply, which is a thinner yarn, I will do 32 stitches aside. And so that means that I am, when I'm doing 2 at a time magic loop, I am purling in to the following row, and so laddering is a concern. There are a couple of little tricks I do to prevent that, which I'm actually going to do a video on this week, because I owe you one. And these just, I'm waiting until I get to that point in the pair I've got now that I'm working on, which I'll show you in a minute. And they just came out so cute and shiny with the gold stellina. I don't know if you can see it. It's just a shot all through there. It's so pretty. It really shows up. I found that when you're dyeing stellina, it's not citric acid that kills it, although some people really think that, and Jinx Yarn's one of them, and I love Laura, so good for, but it's really the color you choose to go against it. Sometimes the darker the better. It just depends on, and silver versus gold. Some things come out beautifully in gold that look awful in silver, and vice versa. Into my box, I now have 7 7 pairs of socks, and it's April. It's only month 4. I might actually be able to do a couple of fancy socks, because I'm afraid if I start fancy socks, I'll never get my box of socks done in time for the box of socks drawing at the end of the year for Vollenheim Yarns Box of Socks Knit Along, which I love, and it's a great idea because it's a selfish knitting thing. They're my socks. Nobody else can have them. And you can, for those of you who wonder, she made it clear on her podcast, you can wear the socks. Thank goodness, because I'm not going to make a box of socks and then like wrap them up for myself for like late next year. No, I want to wear them now. I need socks now. So when I was doing these, what I was thinking when I was doing these is I graduated high school in 82. I'm 52 years old. And at the time, it was very in to wear high-heeled pumps for back, and pantyhose, which I no longer wear ever under any circumstances, and little socks with the pantyhose and the heels. I like the sock look, not so much into the pantyhose heels look. So these will be with little, like, in Philadelphia they call them bobos, but you know, those little Keds, flat tie-up shoes. Yes, I still have a pair of those, and yes, I love them. I love shoes. I don't ever get rid of my shoes. Shoes are eternal. My body size changes, but my feet remain the same. So that's that. Let's see. And I think that is all that is technically off my needles this week. What is on my needles? Well, I've been working on my folded poncho, which I dyed more than enough yarn for, as you can see. And I'm not very far into my folded poncho, but I figure I'm not going to wear it till next fall, but then it keeps snowing. So I don't know. I couldn't stand that stockinette curl at the corner. I know it's part of the design. I just following patterns isn't, I'm not as good at it, although I'm about to, and you're going to be shocked if you know anything about me. So I'm doing a seed stitch at the bottom. I did a seed stitch, and then I have a couple of twisted stitches for a twisted rib here, and then stockinette at the top. That way I can, when I sew it together along the top, it will sew nicely, and I don't have to worry about the sides curling. And that's living in a bag I got at a retreat a couple years ago, and I don't remember the name of the person who made it. She's the only one who does it, but I love it. Love it, love it, love it. That bag was worth every dime, and I paid the dimes for that bag. Next on my needles is my son's Eternal sock, because he has a size 11 foot, and I'm playing a little bit of yarn chicken. This is Chopal Wool Zabber Ball, and it's got long gradient repeats in it. This is the tag. It is color 1564. Such an exotic name. So much better than 1560. I mean, really. It's living in one of my dancing sheep dye bags. Colors I love, I cannot wear. And so I buy my bags in it. And I said I wasn't going to make any progress on this, and I lied. I lied so bad. I am all tangled and frangled. Last time, and I need to start doing progress keepers, but last time I was not very far. I was not into the full black yet. Now I'm out of the black, through the gray, through the turquoise, and going into the green, and it's yarn chicken to get to the end of the foot before I get back to this part of the orange again, where I can start the other sock. Yarn chicken. Chickeny yarn. And I'm doing 32 stitches a side, and size 1 needles, and this is, it just feels so sluggy because it's just stockinette, 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 size 11 foot, goes on forever, goes on forever, goes on forever, and he's so excited about his socks, and I said, you're getting one for your birthday and one for Christmas. His birthday's May 2nd. Let's all hope I make it, because I don't know. I don't know about that. Alright. So I cast off the socks, and of course, what do? And I want to get this right. This is not, do paid for advertising. You can't give me something and have me review it or ask me. I have to buy it. It's just my thing. Because I want to keep it real. These yarn bowls are made, and I'm so terrified because I've broken so many, I could cry. I almost am on a first name friendship basis with this person because it's ridiculous. This is made by Misrunnie on Etsy. This is not technically one of her yarn bowls. This is just a bowl with an adorable version of my cat on the side. And she does amazing work. She works in North Carolina. She's got family in Korea, so she travels there quite a bit. It's great stoneware. It's beautifully done. But this bowl, if you're doing 2 at a time socks from toes up, flip, 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 I don't have to worry about. Whereas this yarn bowl, see the hook? That will catch me in 2 at a time toe up socks. Yes, I have 2 of them. I used to have 4. And it's not me. It's one of my cats. He will see something on the table somewhere and he'll say, "Did you see?" He looks at me. When he does it, he looks me dead in the eyes. This is purposeful. I'm sorry. I know it's a cat and it's not anthropomorphizing this animal. It really does. He really does. Angel hates me. I don't know why. I love him. He'll knock something. And I'm supposed to know what this means. There's no food in my bowl. Change the cat box. Give me water. One of those things. Or you're not petting me enough. Knock. Are you looking? Knock. Wham! Now everything goes on it with a lip. And this at night goes away where he can't knock it over. And this lives in my bedroom where he can't knock it over. Because I sometimes sit in there. So, Misrunnie. I really love her stuff. It's beautiful. It's worth the... There's a slight weight. It's not a long weight. Excuse me. But it's a good weight. So if you ever start dyeing yarn, this is going to happen to you. You'll dye up a colorway you'll love. You'll put good notes down, and then if you're not uber organized, you may put the notes somewhere and not remember where that somewhere was. This is one of those colorways. I have 3 skeins of this, all in sport weight with nylon. I was testing it out to see if I liked it. I love the colorway, the yarn. It's fast sock, just 2 at a time toe up. Same thing I always do with the 2x2 rib, because I want to make these fast so I can get into doing something fancy, which we'll talk about in a minute. And I wound these, I put them on, I cast them on. I had them on size 2 needles, which are wrong. These are size 3. But these are Haya sharps. And when I knit socks, especially on a magic loop, I do this to move them up. I now have a big callus, which is better than bleeding on my yarn. Haya sharps, antlion. What I need is a pair of just the regular stainless on size 3, and I should have them somewhere. Can I find them? No. I don't like using, for some reason, I'm not a big wooden needle person. I'm a metal needle person. I guess it's either or you aren't. I don't know. Maybe you can do both. Some people go both ways. I'm just an all metal needle person. That could all completely wrong. I think so. So I'm going to do these. And I love the way this colorway is knitting up. I love it so much that I'm like, I really want to dye that again. Where are my notes? I dyed it a year ago. Where are my notes? I know I took good notes because I did 2 batches of it actually. I did it on sport weight and I also did it on some DK. I'll find them. And I know who I did it for. I made this yarn specifically after my mother-in-law because these are her favorite colors, the yellow and the pastels. I love these, but again, if I can't find the formula, I'm pretty good. I can come close. I pretty much can tell what I did and where I knotted it and stuff, but because I do resist dyeing almost exclusively. But you just start right from day one. Nope, nope, nope. Then you'll know your failures too. And then photograph your yarn put the notes with photograph on your computer. Just do it. Trust me, you'll be happier. So I had started a lattice shawl by Marie Monska from Stitched in Sweden podcast, the Blusher Veil colorway, and the supply I was testing out. And I like the yarn, but the more I knit it, it wanted a slightly smaller needle. It wanted not to be a lattice shawl. So I have 2 skeins of this. It needs a home for me. I need to find the perfect shawl for it. It's a lot like this, the rose, but it's not like the rose. I mean, up close, it's actually, there's more little pops of pink in it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. I have 2 cakes of it, 2 generous cakes. I need to find a project for. I will. It's only a matter of time. And then I also have, this is also, I was testing this up. This is Lake Freighter. And I have the formula for this, which I love. It's lots of grays in this neat color here, and I don't know what to do with it. Hat in sport weight, I don't know. Crochet project. Somebody suggested mitts, but not really mitt material for me. Not shawl material either. Maybe cowl or hat. I don't know. But again, that was just testing it, so I'm playing. And that's always fun. But I said that I was going to combine 2 patterns for her lattice shawl. And then I read all the instructions. And I decided to do it on my Stolen Souls colorway. An MCN, Merino Cashmere Nylon, Alro fingering. I don't just knit with my own yarn, but I have to do it a little bit. So right now I'm sort of on a kick. It's coming out. I'm on the last segment of lace repeats. I'm just going to start them in the next one, and then I start the edging, which I'm very nervous about. I've got this much left of the first skein and an entire second skein, and if I need it, I have a third skein that are probably going to be matching somethings, because I'm matchy like my mom. Jackie O was fabulous kind of a thing. So there's that. And it's on my little sheet markers with butterflies, and these come from, I don't want to mess this up because I've bought fiber from June Price Fiber Arts. I've bought yarn from them more than once, and these little stitch markers I've got in quite a few. So they have little blue sheep, little red, little pink. They have a sheep with pink and little pink butterfly markers, and I love them. They're fun, and they make me, you know, you get to the beginning of the row where you have to do your yarn overs and lace, and you know, it's the exciting part. It makes you smile, and you're wondering, can you really count to 6 with everything going on in your house that's all crazy sauce like my house can be? And yes, you can. And this gives me confidence and hope. So I'm gonna love this shawl. I can tell now. And when I knit on it in public, which I do, people just comment on how pretty the lattice shawl is, and I'm not doing a contrasting border despite the fact I'm wearing one now. I'm not really that into them. So I am going to do it in that same colorway. So I'm excited about that. It's living in my Katie from Knitting on the Fly. I got this as a swap from her. She's my secret partner, and it's such a cute little box bag, and I love it. I love this bag. I really do. And just, it's an awesome little bag, and I would like 85 more, please, because zippers and I aren't friends. So then I hit Joann's during a sale, like you do. They had patterns on sale, and I was a size 0, which was fun, but I looked horrible as a size 0. I looked too skinny, and now I'm too heavy, but working on that every day. Tea time. Excuse my slurping noise. I understand that in certain parts of the world that's considered very, very highly good. Very poetic almost, that you appreciate the tea, but I don't like to sleep. I also don't like to hear food chewed. It's a weird thing. So the two patterns I got this pattern. This is McCall's M7325. It's a simple little lacy, flowy shirt for spring and summer and early fall. Not hard to make at all. Easy. But I thought this would be pretty. I don't know what I'm going to make it out of yet, but I thought it would be really pretty to have something like this in my wardrobe. And maybe 3 or 4 somethings, because I tend to make the same patterns over and over and over again in different fabrics. That makes me happy. And then I got this pattern, which is a line skirt. It's Butterick's 5757. And if you don't sew, check your measurements against the patterns, because patterns run very small. They always have, always will. I mean, you may be like a size 8, and what do you mean a 16? Yes, it's just, it's not like the stores, okay? Don't let that number sway you. It doesn't mean anything. Get the right size. It's a line skirt. So I wasn't going to line it initially, but now I am, and so I'm looking for the perfect lining, and then I thought, well, we'll just go all the way and we could make it reversible. Then I don't know if I'll ever wear it like that. It's this skirt here, it's the B, and I made it before, but I wanted it in my new size. And I would never normally get a little print for a skirt, but then I saw this. And yes, it looks like it'd make a better project bag, but no, this has to be a skirt. It does. It must be a skirt. So I got a little bit of extra yardage to match my pattern up better. And then under it, I don't know. I'm thinking wearing more of this blue Kona cotton. I don't want it too warm. I don't want to use like a lining fabric because I'm afraid that would be too warm. And I like to wear skirts in the summer with little t-shirts. I wear t-shirts and little skirts with leggings or not all the time. When I said little skirts, I mean not much room when you pack them. Sometimes long is good. I don't have the world's greatest legs. But I just loved this. I just loved everything about it. It's got a little bit of butterfly ephemera on it in golds and blues and mauves, and it's got a crew background with a little bit of lavender up here in this butterfly, and it's just pretty. It's just everything that my mother would make for me when I was like 10, but I want now. I don't know why. I do. So this is So Torn for the week. The name of this section of the episode is going to be So Torn, because when I sew, I'm frequently changing my mind in the last minute, and then I'm into it and I have to finish what I'm doing. So torn. Maybe I need to have a paper ripping sound. I don't know. I don't know. Acquisitions. So let's start with new acquisitions. I got this. It's Dreaming Colors Smooshy in the rosy colorway with cashmere from the Loopy U, because I had to get needles, and if you have to get needles, why not order some yarn? Because sack yarn doesn't count as stash. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. It's got to be a one skein project. I don't like little shawls. I don't know. Cowl. I don't know. Mitts. I don't know. Something warm for the winter, but it's got such like fire colorways in it. It's got colors in it. It's got oranges and reds and deep magentas with almost wine colored with black. It's just beautiful skein of yarn. It's just, I could just put this in a box somewhere and look at it. I'd be happy, girl. Very, very happy. And then, because I've never knit with socks that rock, and I won't make socks out of it because all my socks really need to have some nylon in them because I'm very hard on my socks. Socks that rock, a lightweight, in the Peachy King colorway, which is gorgeous. It's gray, and this is cream, but it's not the ecru of the natural yarn. It's got some like light dye on it. Runs to peach, darker peach, and then it's got gray sort of through here, like almost like a hand paint. I'm sure that I mean, I don't do the hand painting, but this really looks like a hand paint to me, or a dip dye with some hand painting with it. It doesn't matter, because what somebody else does doesn't matter to me, except that I just love it. I don't want to duplicate it. I just want to make it into something beautiful. And again, I don't have a particular project in mind. Something simple, but I like big shawls, so I don't know. I do have some, I don't know. I'll think about what I'm going to make this out of. And the suggestions are always welcome. I've got a sock pattern from Very Busy Monkey. I've sort of been eyeing for this. I don't know. I'll insert pictures of possibilities and just tell me what you think in the comments. And then stash appreciation. Because there's some yarns that I haven't knit with that I bought, and this is messed up because of my cat Yaps, who for some reason thinks he's a zombie. This is Lorna's Laces Zombie Barbecue, and I got this from Jimmy Beans and a long time ago. 425 yards, 15% nylon, 30% Outlast, which is the viscose that helps wick away, you know, moisture, and 55% superwash merino. So I was thinking about, you know, just something for the summer for running, because this wicks away the moisture, and I would really like to run in homemade socks and just not in the nylon socks you get for running in. I don't know if that's crazy sauce or not. Because sometimes I run very early in the morning. Feet do get cold and wet. Wicking away moisture is a good thing. I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. I just love the colors in it. I have to appreciate that. Because I've had this forever, but I just... appreciation. Okay, I'm going to do a mini shop update on Thursday this week. So there will be one. And mini version of this podcast for the shop update. Thank you for watching to the end. I appreciate it. Thursday I'll have a short one. I'll also do my podcast appreciation, which is going to go to 2 podcasts a week now, and really more in depth about why I love them so much. And then maybe I'll have some more progress on the socks, and I am just loving the lattice shawl. It looks complicated, but the lace, at least on the part that I'm doing, which is the repeats before it goes into the knitted on border, it's garter both ways, folks. If you're looking for a project and you can count to 6, you can do this. I swear. I love shawls, I love lace, but they always seem so redonkulously... No, this one's good and easy, and it would be a very good project to start with. It would be for knitted borders, I hope. I'll let you know when I get to that part, but for the lace part alone, because it's garter both ways, life is a breeze. I've got one row of thinky, 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 thinky. Pause whatever I'm doing. Read, 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 read. Thinky, 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 thinky. Read, 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 read. I can't recommend that pattern for how well it's written enough. And I have a confession to make. Mina Phillip from the Knitting Expat. You'll probably never see this, but I have a bone to pick with you. I thought Stephen West was enabling me to knit brioche, which I swore I would never do. No. He's got nothing on you. I now have a hat pattern for a 2-color brioche hat. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it, what I'm going to do with it quite yet, but I'm looking at that going, I can do this. I'm so scared. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a 2-color brioche hat, something I swore I'd never do, which is why when I say I'm never knitting a heel flap and gusset knock wood, I may do that. I may. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my blathering about yarn and knitting. I hope you had fun, because I am having a ball. I am just 52 years old and you're doing what you're born to do. Wish I'd figured it out before a couple of years ago, but that's okay. because I'm home and I'm with my boys during the day, and they need me and I need them, and I probably don't tell them this. I need them more than they need me. Yes, Hurt, I'm talking to you, and yes, I know you watch my videos. No more mean comments. Thank you for watching Go Rodeo Fiber Fiesta. Again, links to all the notes are down below. I hope. The site's up on Ravelry. I'll hopefully have it populated for the podcast edition this Thursday. And you have a fabulous week. And enjoy fibery goodness, because it's really fun to sit outside and knit this time of year when it starts to get a little warmer, if we don't have any more thunder snow in Michigan, which we probably will. Ta-ta for now.